You're dead. Right now. I've killed you.
Welcome to What the Flick, everyone, the only movie review show that starts off with a Hitler joke. Matt?
Why didn't Adolf Hitler drink alcohol?
Why is that?
Made him too mean.
Ha ha!
There we go.
Da 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 da.
Christy, don't fake laugh. Christy Lemire from Ebert Presents at the Movies and the Associated Press. Matt Atchity from Rotten Tomatoes, Editor-in-Chief.
I'm going to tell you about Hanna because I'm the only one in the room who can pronounce the name Saoirse Ronan. She plays the title character. She's a 16-year-old, blonde-haired, blue-eyed killing machine. Her father, played by Bana, has been training her in the wilds of Finland for something. She can hunt, she can fight, she can speak all these languages. But what her mission will be is a tantalizing mystery.
Marissa. We picked up an unencrypted signal below the Arctic Circle. We think it's Eric Heller.
Heller is a rogue asset. I propose we go in and pull him out. We need to keep this contained, gentlemen.
Papa.
Remember what I taught you, you'll be fine.
Directed by Joe Wright, who brought us Atonement and The Soloist.
And a great Pride and Prejudice version.
Right, a great, and had cast Saoirse Ronan?
Saoirse
Ronan in Atonement. That's where a lot of people first saw her.
Heller was gone, but we found this kid.
I want to speak to Marissa Fiegler.
My name is Marissa Fiegler. You wanted to speak to me? It's okay.
I don't think I'd ever put these two words together, but I found Hanna to be preciously violent.
Cute violence?
Yeah, I thought this movie was really sort of, very sort of proud of itself, or obsessed with itself. I thought it was incredibly pretentious right from the beginning. You know what? Not right from the beginning, because the first 7 or 8 minutes I did like it. And then after that, I was sort of unimpressed throughout. There was this sort of pulsating techno beat that I found irritating at the beginning and obnoxious by the end.
It's the Chemical Brothers. They did the score for it. I think it absolutely fits.
Well, then I'm sure they got what they wanted, but what they wanted was distracting and, I won't say ruined it because I don't think it was good anyway, but I found the score, like I said, really, it was pounding. You really felt like you were in a club and it was a club you wanted to leave.
It's meant to be intense and sort of claustrophobic at times.
And so, Christy, obviously you liked it.
I dug it, yeah. This is, I think, we talked about Sucker Punch on here a couple weeks ago. This is a movie that Sucker Punch wanted to be in terms of being a girl power, kick-ass movie, or at least what it should have wanted to be. And she's great in it. She has to keep you guessing as to who she is and what she's meant for. She handles all the physicality of it beautifully. She has this fantastic face where it can be either placid and kind of eerily beautiful, or also all her emotion can flash across it. I think she's great.
Yes, the young Ronan girl.
Yeah. Oscar nominee, Saoirse Ronan.
She was good, but you talk about you keep her guessing throughout. Then finally, at the moment toward the end where you're revealed as to what she is, I'd forgotten that we cared at that point. And so there's that moment toward the end where there's the big reveal of what she is, why she is this way. I was like, oh, right, we're supposed to care. I didn't care at all. And I realize I'm in the minority here, but this whole time during the movie, I was like, oh, this movie's so proud of itself. It's so self-conscious. It's so self-aware. It was incredibly pretentious.
Well, who she is, I think, is secondary because at its core, this is a coming-of-age drama. She loses her innocence. She has to go out in the wide world and figure out who she is. And The Secret is really secondary to her journey.
No, I'm glad because The Secret was a big disappointment.
I enjoyed this movie.
Yeah.
I really liked it. I agree with you with your comparison to Sucker Punch. In fact, Hanna could kick all of those girls' asses and not even break a sweat.
Without a weapon even, hand-to-hand combat.
Exactly.
What kind of compliment is that, though? Okay, I agree. This movie's better than Sucker Punch.
Right, that bar
is... It's better at achieving its goals than Sucker Punch was.
You know what? It's a lot better than Sucker Punch. It's way better than Sucker Punch.
That's not difficult. I thought this was a good movie. I do tend to agree with you that I think that it gets a bit more pretentious. It arts itself up a little bit more than it needs to. I was okay with that. I didn't have a problem with it, but I'm not a big Joe Wright fan. I hated Atonement.
Oh my God.
Hated that movie.
7.5-minute long tracking shot. How are you not impressed by that?
Unnecessary.
It was awesome. And there's one in this movie too.
But
not
the
that
long tracking shot in this one and the long tracking shot, for instance, in something like Children of Men, serve the story. In Atonement, I thought he was just showing off.
It is a show-offy skill, and it's a hard thing to pull off. But here, it does serve the story because it builds tension and it shows you who Eric Bana is.
I thought this was incredibly show-offy too. And
the tracking shot, or is it the whole thing?
The whole thing.
But see, I think it's okay for an action movie like this to get where you're kind of showing off. I think that I'm willing to forgive that a bit more.
You have to suspend some disbelief in that she can get from like Morocco to Spain to Berlin all by herself.
And that she could drag down the
no
200-pound elk and drag it back so quickly.
But that's the massive inconsistency, is that you shouldn't have to suspend the disbelief, because then at various parts they don't want you to suspend the disbelief. There's a nice moment where she sort of forms a bond with another girl, another young girl, that's a nice sort of real moment in the movie, an authentic moment in the movie, and you don't have to suspend disbelief for that. So then we have these real moments set with these unreal moments, and that's the choppiness rather than just sort of acceptable inconsistency.
And you hated Cate Blanchett in this, you were saying earlier.
I don't hate Cate Blanchett because she's good, but I thought she's a stereotype and not a real person.
And she's Texan.
Yeah, I didn't like her. I didn't.
Which of course means that she's evil.
Evil, Texas.
She's wasted. I didn't think there was any depth to Cate Blanchett.
But she runs really well in Prada heels.
She does.
It's impressive.
And that's why she has that job. That's how you get promoted at the CIA when you're a female, is you can run in nice heels.
And then there's a silly standoff ending. Silly. And then there's that nonsense with the amusement park. It was dumb.
It's all part of the fairy tale theme. I was okay with it.
Grades.
7.8.
Really?
Yeah. I stand by it.
What do you got, Matt?
What did I give mine? 7, I think.
You gave it a 7. I gave it a 4, and I feel like I was generous.
No.
It pulls the overall grade of Hanna to a 6.3, and it's doing really well on the tomato meter, right?
Yes, it's 86% certified fresh.
Really, 86%, and I gave it a 4, and I feel like I was generous. 6.3 is our grade here on What the Flick for Hanna.